Good morning, this is Sarah, your healthy carnivore in the UK. Not quite so healthy at the moment because I work with 3-year-olds, and so I'm having a respiratory detox situation. Quite poorly on Saturday, so didn't get to do my video, but doing it today instead, and hopefully my voice won't crack while I'm doing it. I know many carnivores say they don't get poorly at all. Well, maybe they don't work with 3-year-olds, or maybe they do work with 3-year-olds and they just got lucky. But I still get poorly in the winter when I'm working with these kids. I'm not going to comment on why I think it is, because that's not what this video is about. I've just completed a 30-day lion diet experiment, and I'm not going to keep you waiting for the weight. I'm not going to make you wait 25, 26, 27 minutes for the weigh-in. I'm going to tell you now, I lost 10 pounds. I haven't done any screenshots of, actually I did do a screenshot of my weight chart. If I remember later, I'm going to pop it in here. If you got lucky, it's in here. Otherwise, you just have to take my word for it. Now, I was in ketosis before I started. Now, many people will say, well, that's lovely, but were you eating a standard UK or standard American diet before you started? No, I wasn't, but I was consuming cheese, which does cause bloat on my body. So I have to kind of guess. I haven't got any really expensive equipment to work out how much I lost of bloat and how much I lost of fat. But I was doing a 2-MAD schedule, 2 meals a day, obviously knocking cheese straight on the head and dairy. And in that time, I lost sort of 5 or 6 pounds quite quickly, and then 4 pounds over the remainder of the month. So I can only assume that I lost about 5 or 6 pounds in bloat and then 4 pounds of fat. And now I have to decide where I'm going from here. What am I going to do from here on in? We are approaching autumn and winter, and my job's quite stressful. So now I have to decide whether I want to keep going with it or stop. I think it is most likely that I'm going to keep going with the fasting, but reintroduce some things. Now, I have noticed though, hang on, so this is my chart. You can, if I remember to put it in, I'm going to have to now, aren't I? This will be edited later. You can see from here there are steps. There is a little bit of loss, and then a long line, and then another loss. Now the line this time looks quite dramatic, but it really is because it's just a really short space of time. In reality, my journey has been long. I can't remember the total number of pounds I'm up to about now. It might be about 24, 25 pounds down. I am one of the slowest weight losers you'll ever find, but I'm not giving up. So I will be adding to this and adding to this. And by the time I'm, by the time I'm 90, I should be at target. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep eating this way, partly because I kind of have to eat this way now, because yesterday I tried to reintroduce egg and I did get abdominal pain and bloating, which is interesting. I have heard this happening. I think this is one of the downsides of lion. When you do it, when you reintroduce stuff, you can then suddenly realize that maybe you were a little bit intolerant all along, or you've now become intolerant. And it was duck eggs, by the way. So those that mentioned maybe try duck eggs. It was actually the duck eggs that made me feel poorly, which is I'm really shocked about. I had some bacon and egg, and I was bloated for about 4 hours afterwards. This morning, my youngest son's off school poorly, not interested in doing fasting. I made him some bacon. He didn't want it, and so I ate it. So not fasting today, but we'll continue with it probably tomorrow, okay? But still, obviously, highly carnivorous, just eating my meat. Bacon on its own is fine. Bacon with egg, bloating. So that's an interesting development. Quite sad about that. I believe it is just the egg whites that's doing that. Probably will discover that I'm completely intolerant to spices now. Before I did the lion diet, I wasn't doing great with spices. I think now, after I've done it and cleared myself out, if I try to eat anything with spice in, probably going to regret it. Luckily, I don't desire that thing. I don't crave that kind of thing. Very happy eating plain meat. Those of you thinking, how can anyone eat just plain meat? Just try it for a while. I can quite happily sit and eat a whole plate of just completely actually plain meat with salt, and I am absolutely fine. Not sure how I am with pepper yet. Haven't tried that yet. Probably have become intolerant to that too. So yes, so these are my findings at the end of the 30-day experiment. The first sort of 10 days was the worst. That was giving up the cream in the coffee and the dairy and giving up the coffee. and just not having anything, just the beef, salt and water. The first sort of 10 days, bit sulky in the evenings, wasn't allowed to snack on a piece of cheese, wasn't allowed to have pork rinds or anything like that. And that took a little bit of a while to get used to. Very grumpy about it in the first sort of 10 to 14 days. The second 10 to 14 days, much easier. Had got used to not having it, had got used to not snacking on cheese, quite happy. So I feel disappointed that I've managed to get this respiratory illness, but I know that people that work with 3-year-olds are constantly sick, whether it's whether viruses spread around like the way they say they do, or whether it's to do with all the gunge that goes up the nose of the children this time of year. Shedding from that. Can't say for sure because I'm not a scientist. I can only speculate. So yeah, that's my video of my 30 days. Lost 10 pounds. Very pleased about that because I had been stuck at the same weight since February. So that just goes to show I really have to do intermittent fasting and lying. Some people can lose weight just thinking about being on keto. Some people can lose weight just think about going low carb. Some of us have to really knuckle down and get right down to basics to get any weight loss. I am that person. I had to choose between carrying on the way I was going and maintaining, which I was okay about. It wasn't the end of the world. Or have a bit of a, pull up your big girl panties and get on with it kind of thing. And I am so glad I did, because I do feel different in myself. My clothes all feel different. I feel better, apart from the neck up. That feels rubbish. But that will clear. So now my goal is to keep that weight off no matter what. Probably staying very, very clean with my food. I'm definitely staying off dairy until mid-November minimum. Continuing with TUMAD. I know I had bacon this morning, but that was because my son didn't want it and I didn't want it to go to waste, so I just ate it. Bite me. But I will be going back to my fasting imminently, probably tomorrow. And just that's really the summary of the last 30 days in a nutshell, very basic. I need to edit this now and put my chart in so you can see the incremental stages that I've made. If you are in England, I'm now very, very close to 2 stone, and that's 2 stone since last July. Now, I know that's not a massive amount of weight, but in the world of me, it's okay. We've had quite a testing year. We've had all sorts of things going on. Not going to bore you with all the things that have gone wrong, but we haven't particularly had a hashtag so blessed kind of year. We've had a bumpy one, just like everybody else does. And so I'm not trying to get any sympathy, but I'm just saying I've had to ride through some situations which previously would have made me comfort eat, and I didn't. I'm now at the 14-month point of my carnivore journey. Very happy with that. Not on any medication, never will be. You can quote me on that because I won't take medication. Doesn't matter what I'm offered, I'll always say no. So you can quote me on that too. So in terms of keeping healthy, in terms of getting some weight off, in terms of staying off the medication, feeling good, losing some bloat and feeling like I have some kind of control over myself, I'm winning. Other people will lose a lot more weight than I have in 14 months, and that's okay too. Some people won't lose any in 14 months. The longest I've ever heard of someone starting to lose weight on the carnivore lifestyle is 3 years. That's a bit more unusual, but it probably will take me the whole of that 3 years to get the weight off that I need to. And if that's the way it's going to go, that's the way it's going to go, because I'm carnivore for life. So that was a nod to Alex Cannon, who stole my channel. Bless his heart. God rest him. So that's all I want to say on that. I will be going to my meetup in the middle of November, but it has become a more, due to not having overwhelming interest, we have now set it as a smaller affair, but the big massive one next summer is still going ahead. So when that is officially happening, we'll let you know and we'll get some interest for that. But we've decided to do just a small meetup in Somerset, and photos and videos of that will be available when they're available. So anyway, I'm going to sign out now. I'm amazed I managed to get through that without my voice cracking. So yes, 30-day lion, £10 off. Now, just toying with what I'm going to do next, but I think I've worked it out. If you've got any sun, go and get it. If you've got any meat, go and eat it. If you've got any water, go and drink it. Protect your peace. Do whatever it takes for you to be healthy, but also happy. And if you're not ready to be carnivore right now, don't panic, but you will be at some point. That's not what I normally say, is it? Silly. If you're not ready to be carnivore right now, that's fine. But if you're not ready, it's not your time until it is. You take care, and I will see you on the next one. I don't know what day this is, but it will be somewhere in the title, and I need to remember to edit. Come on. You've got this. See you later. Bye. Bye.